Ardesh gasped for breath, his clothes torn, his skin covered in cuts. His legs ached, but he couldn't stop running. Something was chasing him. The jungle was thick, endless, and terrifying. He had been lost for 3 days now, and hunger clawed at his stomach. But hunger wasn't the worst thing here. The worst thing was watching those glowing eyes in the dark. At first, Ardesh thought he was alone. But the moment he sat down to rest, he heard the growl. Low. Dangerous. Close. He turned, his heart pounding. A huge wolf stood there, its silver fur blending with the moonlight. Its golden eyes locked onto him. Ardesh reached for a rock. If this was how he died, he would go down fighting. But then, the wolf didn't attack. It just stared. And then it did something even stranger. It collapsed. Weak. Bleeding. Hungry. And in that moment, Ardesh realized something horrifying. They were both trapped. Both on the brink of death. And if they wanted to survive this jungle, they would have to work together. Survival begins. Ardesh hesitated. The wolf's breath was shallow. Its ribs showed through its fur. It had been starving just as much as he had. He had two choices, run or take a chance. Slowly, he knelt and extended his hand. The wolf growled weakly but didn't move. It was too exhausted. That night, man and beast sat in silence, sharing nothing but the cold and their hunger. The next morning, survival instincts took over. Ardesh needed food. So did the wolf. Hunting was impossible in his weakened state. But he found wild berries, enough to keep himself alive. The wolf, however, needed meat. Ardesh spotted a small rabbit, hiding among the leaves. With a sharpened stick, he lunged, missing narrowly. But the wolf, even in its weakened state, reacted faster. A flash of silver. A snap of jaws. The rabbit was dead. Ardesh expected the wolf to eat it immediately. But instead, it stepped back. It was letting him take his share. Ardesh cut a small portion, eating just enough to regain some strength. The rest belonged to the wolf. A silent agreement had been made. The jungle's wrath. Days passed. The jungle was merciless. The nights were cold, the insects relentless. And the constant threat of predators loomed over them. But something had changed. Ardesh and the wolf, whom he named Veer, had become partners. Veer was stronger now. He hunted with precision, bringing back small prey. Ardesh learned to set traps, to gather food, to find clean water. Together, they stood a chance. But the jungle wasn't done with them yet. One evening, as Ardesh was gathering firewood, he heard it. A low, guttural snarl. Not from Veer. Something was lurking in the shadows. And then, a blur of black fur. Yellow eyes. A predator twice the size of Veer. Ardesh had only seconds to react. The black panther lunged at Veer, its claws outstretched. Veer dodged, but barely. The panther was too fast. Ardesh grabbed a burning stick from the fire and swung wildly. The flames roared, momentarily startling the beast. Veer took the opportunity. With a feral snarl, he attacked, his teeth sinking into the panther's leg. The beast roared in pain, thrashing violently. Ardesh saw his chance. He drove the burning stick into the panther's side. A furious screech. The panther fled, disappearing into the jungle's darkness. Veer collapsed, panting heavily, his fur streaked with blood. Ardesh dropped to his knees beside him. They had won. But barely. The final test. The jungle had tested them. Again and again. But the real test was yet to come. On the 10th day, Ardesh saw it. Smoke. A village. Civilization. His heart raced. He was saved. He turned to Veer, smiling. We made it. But Veer didn't move. The wolf's golden eyes stayed fixed on the jungle behind them. He was torn between two worlds. Ardesh swallowed hard. Come with me. Veer took a step forward. Then stopped. The bond they had formed. The battles they had fought together. But Veer was a creature of the wild. And Ardesh knew it. For the first time, Ardèche wished he could speak the language of wolves. Wished he could tell Veer that he wasn't just a wolf to him. He was his brother. A deep, sorrowful howl filled the air. And then, Veer turned and disappeared into the jungle. Ardèche stood there for a long time, staring at the place where his friend had vanished. Then, with heavy steps, he walked toward the village. Surviving the jungle had been the hardest thing he had ever done. But walking away from Veer, that was harder. The legend of the jungle wolf. Years passed. Ardèche never forgot the wolf who had saved his life. One day, he returned to that jungle just to see if he could find Veer again. But all he found were footprints in the mud, and a single silver hair glistening in the sunlight. Somewhere in the jungle, the wolf still roamed. And Ardèche knew that no matter how many years passed, no matter how far apart they were, they had survived together. And that bond could never be broken at the end.